Now to this developing news in a case that has captivated the nation tonight. New York prosecutors filed a murder charge against Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old suspect in the deadly shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And KCAL News reporter Tom Wade is here now with more on the chance sighting that led to his arrest.
Yeah, very astute employee at McDonald's was the one that helped break down this case. So very interesting there. So Pat, tonight we're also learning about Mangione's ties to LA, the connection he has here. And we're hearing from one of his ex-roommates who says there was never any signs that his friend would be someone accused of murder. Tonight, a stone-faced Luigi Mangione photographed inside a holding cell not far from where he was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. An employee recognized him Monday morning as he was eating at the restaurant. The 26-year-old is a suspect in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, gunned down in New York 6 days ago.
Members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges.
New video shows Mangione heavily guarded by police, taken from an SUV and being led into a building. Investigators say just before his arrest, Mangione was acting suspiciously and carrying a fraudulent U.S. passport, along with the fake ID police say was used to check into a New York City hostel before the shooting. Also in his possession, a mask and jacket like the one the shooter wore and a gun with a silencer.
The gun appears to be a ghost gun, may have been made on a 3D printer, the capability of firing a 9mm round.
Police say they also recovered a 3-page handwritten document critical of the healthcare industry.
We don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document, but it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Mangione is an Ivy League graduate from a wealthy Maryland family.
Luigi Nicholas Mangione.
And was valedictorian at his elite all-boys high school.
I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016.
We've also learned Mangione had ties to LA, working for Santa Monica-based TrueCar. A spokesperson for the company confirmed he was an employee, but has not worked for the company since 2023. It's not clear if he ever lived in LA or if he worked remotely. At one point, Mangione was living in Hawaii. His friend and roommate says he's stunned that Mangione could be connected to the Thompson murder.
I was roommates with him, friends, hiked, went to yoga. He was, did his best to be athletic and unfathomable, knowing the kind, person that I saw and knew.
Mangione's former roommate says he never heard Mangione using incendiary rhetoric.
And we talked about, issues that are, say with capitalism or with the healthcare system or with housing or the food systems. It wasn't, anything specific. It wasn't like he had an axe to grind or he was even upset or angry about a particular issue, or they were just natural intellectual conversations that you have when you're inquisitive.
As police continue to nail down a motive, it's likely they'll scour Mangione's social media accounts. Many of his pages are filled with pictures of travel with family and friends, some of whom posted months before the shooting, concerned about him. One writing, "Nobody has heard from you in months," and another, "I don't know if you are okay or just in a super isolated place."
Usually when we see people come out and they commit homicides, it's a growth into it. To start out with homicide and murder, premeditated murder, that's very rare.
With prosecutors in New York now charging Mangione with murder, authorities will begin the process of extraditing him from Pennsylvania back to New York. So we'll see how long that process takes. But yeah, late tonight we are seeing those charges come down.
Yeah, and so many questions still
about the motive, right?
Tom, absolutely. You wonder if was it someone that he knew that he felt treated very unfairly,
right.
A family member, but they said they can't even think of.
Right. So I think they're just kind of probably now questioning him, right? He's probably sitting there. So it'll be interesting to see if he's actually talking to police.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Tom.
Pat.
Well, the suspect's wealthy family has ties to the healthcare industry. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers has been digging into that part of the story with the help of our desk partners in Baltimore. All right, Mike.
Yeah, you know, Pat, assignment desks across the country are working on this. Our colleagues in Hawaii are tracking down his time in there. Up in San Francisco on the desk, they're looking at time he spent at Stanford University. And in Texas, our colleagues are trying to track down his sister. But it's the folks on the assignment desk in Baltimore that really dug up his family history, which includes a large industry or a large presence in the healthcare industry. They actually formed what is called a healthcare assisted living homes by the name of Hayfields Country Club, as well as the Turf Valley Country Club. They're a prominent family in Maryland. They founded the Lorien Health Systems. That's the assisted living homes that I was talking about in 1977, even operated a Baltimore radio station there. Now, Luigi Mangione comes from that prominent Maryland family. His paternal grandparents were real estate developers who purchased those country clubs back in the 70s and 80s. And tonight we're actually hearing from his family as well. They released a statement. That's a very interesting statement, and I want to read part of it to you here. It says, quote, "Unfortunately, we can not comment on news reports regarding Luigi Mangione. We only know what we have read in the media. Our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the families of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news." That statement coming from Nino Mangione. Nino Mangione is a delegate of the Republican Party in Maryland. The statement, kind of interesting, though, it echoes kind of what Tom was talking about in his reporting about people who may not have heard from Mangione in quite some time. The family says they're only finding out about this through the press. Pat?
Yeah, and that's also very strange.
Yeah.
Right, Mike? All right, thank you. Lots more to learn about this.